Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Recktenwald. I'm 43 years old, and my love of the outdoors has brought me to this point in my life where I'm looking for a second exciting and rewarding career post the military. After 24 years in the military and seeing the way that things are around the world, I've only met more and more challenges throughout my time for wildlife management, land management, just to see the way that everyone is treating the world. Since I was about 5 years old, my father's taken me hunting, he's taken me fishing, and we spent majority of my growing up years outside. I didn't have a lot of neighbors, and so all of these things combined have brought me to this point in my life. My future job that I would love to hold is for the Florida Wildlife Commission, one of the many reasons that I chose Florida as a state to retire in. We have a huge population of many different animals, to include over 500,000 feral swine, uh, just over 4,000 bear, and I'm sure that all of you have heard on the news last year and then coming up this year about the Florida bear hunts and the controversies that follow that. We have about 360 panthers, mostly located down in the southern Florida area. Of course, like anywhere else, we have a lot of other game like deer, ducks, and of course the Florida alligator, which again has been and made the news with the happenings and events at Disney World. And keeping all of that in mind, this is kind of the reason also that I'd like to be part of wildlife management here in the state. There are so many threatened species that have a lot of issues, to include the sea turtles, even the panthers, I guess, to an extent, are on the watch list here. The pythons down in the Everglades, everything causing and shifting habitat issues. And a lot of this stems from habitat disruption from the amount of persons that we have moving into Florida every year, and the destruction of the habitat in it itself. I think a big portion of the issues we have is our land ethic, and we need to be able to find the point in balancing the scales between humans, animals, and ours and their habitats. As we all know, we're obviously not going to stop building and expanding our areas. We're going to continue to build homes. We're going to continue to expand out. And as we do so, we're going to interfere with more and more wildlife habitat. What I would love to get out of this class, further classes, and a follow-on degree is the ability to work with FWC, number one, to be able to assist with the wildlife itself and the issues that we have with the hunting and the poaching and the fishing and the boating and the manatees and the other things that you would normally think of. But then on top of that, as I further my degree, I would eventually like to get on to some of the local and eventually state councils that are responsible for wildlife management. I would love to be able to set aside lands or assist in setting aside lands. I would love to be able to tell or assist companies to build or not to build on a certain piece of property. Being below sea level in a lot of our state, we have a lot of wetlands. Most of those are federally protected. But then again, through legislation, we often have a lot of issues with this, and we all know that money is obviously going to trump a lot of the laws many times, and we're going to continue to lose a lot of these wetlands as we continue to move further down the road and continue to expand out in these areas. Here in Daytona Beach and up and down the coast, we have a lot of sea turtle nests, and what they've done is they've said that you are only allowed to build up to 7 stories for condominiums, etc. But further up the coast and further down the coast, the Miami area, the Jacksonville area, you have several story condominiums, and again, it's just all part of a disruption of the wildlife. And I'd like to be able to be a part of that team that is able to facilitate and assist in the guidance of the future of a lot of these companies, and exactly where they're building, how they're building, the materials to be used, and also to kind of, I guess, find that the point in between to where we can continue to protect the wildlife that we currently have and enhance the wildlife that's either in danger or having a lot more issues for survival around the area. Um, So basically, again, this is why I love wildlife. I love the wildlife management, and on a personal note, when it comes to wildlife, as I've told everyone before, I absolutely enjoy archery and archery hunting. The state, although the animals tend to be a lot smaller than some of the other states, there's a lot of wild game out there to hunt, and I would like to be able to protect my interest in that um, for the future of myself and generations to come. For those that have children, etc. And I just feel a lot more obligated to facilitate and assist the animals versus assisting humans. Not to sound cruel or anything, but my preference is definitely towards the animals, and I would like to see them continue to thrive as they are and only grow in population. So thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it.